had Jaden, then I lost him.
Another weekend, a new story. I found a diamond in the darkest mine. We started speaking, smooth talking, a tiptoe over the borderline. She left her lipstick on my cheek. I turned around, she vanished in a blink. She haunted me and I can barely sleep. I'm looking for her, that's her, stop that girl. There's been a robbery. She stole my heart and meant to go for me. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart, she had enough of me. Everywhere I go, I put out wanted signs. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. I guess I'll never know. Cold sweating, it's hard to make it do the day to day. Empty-handed, right where you left me. Ciggies filling up the ashtray.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
I turned around, she vanished in the flame.
Flame would be nice.
She haunted me and I can barely sleep.
Just turn up a little bit on your end.
That's her, stop that girl. There's been a robbery. She stole my heart and meant to go for me. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart, she had enough of me. Everywhere I go, I put out wanted signs. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. I guess I'll never, yeah, I'll never know. Lipstick on my cheek, she vanished in a blink, and I can barely sleep. Yeah, so go lipstick on my cheek. I turned around, she vanished in a blink. She haunted me and I can barely sleep. Yeah, wait, that's her, stop that girl. She stole my heart and meant to go for me. I said, hey, there's been a robbery. She stole my heart, she had enough of me. Everywhere I go, I put out wanted sounds. There's been a robbery. I guess I'll never know.
One promo, one PSA. I want to get us going. Get ready to go.
Tune into the rabbit hole on 92 WICB. Hear your favorite mind-bending psychedelic tracks every Monday from 10 to midnight. Expand your musical consciousness with tracks from the early days of psych rock to the psychedelia of the modern age. Sonic anomalies and kaleidoscopic excursions await you. So come take a trip with us. The Rabbit Hole, Mondays from 10 to midnight on 91.7 FM.
Here we go, guys. Let's have a good show.
And 1 pill makes you smile.
The following is a special presentation of 92 WICB Ithaca and the Bombers Radio Network. In conjunction with the Ithaca College Athletics Department, this is Bombers Sports on the Station for Innovation, 91.7 FM.
After what was a thrilling season last year, the Bombers are back and better. The still experienced roster, ranked number 20 in the nation, and hungry to compete and complete some unfinished business. It all starts tonight with one of two editions of the Cortland rivalry happening right here in the Ben Light Gym. Right here in Ithaca, New York. It's Ithaca Bombers against the Cortland Red Dragons. Hello, everyone. It's great to have you with us. I'm Rocco DiMaiolo. Thanks for tuning in to WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. I'm alongside Tobias Zaboy for tonight's pregame coverage between Ithaca and Cortland. And Tobias, I mean, it feels like just yesterday, just 8 months ago, 248 days since that last thrilling heartbreaker in the second round of the NCAA tournament between the Ithaca Bombers and Springfield in that what was that thrilling 73-71 overtime win for Springfield. And here we are, 8 months later, back at it.
Yeah, Rocco, it's been 8 months, but being back here in the Ben Light Gymnasium, I can still see the stands, I can still hear the crowd. It just happened so close ago now, the Bombers. Another season happening on the South Hill, hoping for a little bit of a better result and a longer turn at it this year with a still very experienced roster behind them.
Absolutely. Still an experienced roster that still has that same grit, that same aura, that same desire to get back at it. They've had that bitter taste in their mouths ever since that hard loss to Springfield. But here they are, and like we said, despite losing the key players like Grace Cannon and Megan Yeoman, the roster is still ranked number 20 in the nation, and that could definitely feed their confidence going into the season.
Absolutely. They're a well-regarded team, and everyone knows that, at least within D3. They still respect this Bombers team, and they're still getting influence from a lot of these players. Megan Yeoman was here earlier today. A lot of the players came up to her before they started their warm-ups that they're doing right now, said hi to her. So having her back here on the South Hill, even if it's just for at least tonight, gives them a presence of a player who they know was so crucial here at Ithaca. But a lot of players that are here played a big part in their run last year and have been so instrumental in keeping this Ithaca team in the top 25 and to where they are, ranked 20 in the nation coming into this season.
When we talk about those key players, those experienced players that are here on this roster, yes, as we mentioned, no Grace Cannon, no Megan Yeoman, no Melissa Buxton. But other than that, you have some other key players from last year's senior roster who were on the starting lineup last year that are back here this year as a fifth-year player. Cara Volpe, Lindsay Albertelli. Volpe, the only player to start in every game last season. She had the second most amount of assists last season with 68 behind Yeoman's 87. And last year she was also the All-Liberty League second team. And Albertelli, she started in all but one game last year, but she still had the second most amount of rebounds amongst the roster with 147 behind Grace Cannon's 187. So you have two experienced players back here to give their all, one last shot at it, and you have more experience from the senior class, and it just gets better from there on.
Yeah, those fifth years using that extra year of eligibility that they have coming into this year, and last year they were really solid, helped lead that team to that Liberty League title and were crucial throughout the season. And once again, they're back on the South Hill, hoping to make a deep run at it. And then there's some more players on this team who have had experience. You mentioned that senior class. Natalie Smith got some opportunities last year. I expect her to have a really big year this year. Emily Dorn, Cameron Coffey, especially getting back out there on the floor. A lot of players who were instrumental in the late part of the seasons back here on the South Hill as seniors. They're probably going to take some big roles as leaders on this team, but crucial to have that experience of players who have been to the playoffs, who have had success in close games against really good teams. You're going to want that as you go throughout this season.
And we talk a lot about how Ithaca is hungry for more. They have, if you look closely on their warm-up jersey, they have the word more written on the back at the top, closer to their necks in the center. But we talk about more, we talk about desire. Let's talk a little bit about this Cortland team. I mean, they lost in the SUNYAC championship last year against SUNY New Paltz, and then they go to the NCAA tournament at an at-large bid, and then they get taken out in the first round. So they're pretty hungry themselves.
Yeah, they want, Cortland had a really good run there last year towards the end. They got that #1 seed in the SUNYAC tournament and got to host, and that meant they could ride their way to the title free of charge. They weren't able to hold on against New Paltz. Then they go and face DeSales in the tournament. Can't win that one, so this is a team. They lost a lot of experience, but they're going to look for more this year in the Empire 8 Conference, in the SUNYAC, excuse me.
And we talk about key players for Ithaca, like we said, Volpe and Albertelli. Why don't we talk about some Cortland key players? Toby, what do you have for us?
Yeah, well, Maggie Malone, she'll play a key factor in this game, and especially throughout the season for this Cortland team. She's one of their seniors. She had 298 points last year. She led the team. She led them in field goals as well at 115. Played in every game. One of their other key players, though, that they could have needed coming into this game, Sarah Tully, will not be playing. Number 13, she entered this game. She has a crutch currently. She's in her sweat, so will not be participating. A player who last year led the Red Dragons in rebounds with 174, led both offensive and defensive rebounds, led in blocks, and was one of their top point scorer. Unfortunate loss there for Cortland on the season, especially when you're trying to make a run in the SUNYAC and make your presence felt. But one other Red Dragon who should be playing tonight, Maggie Malone, 298 points last year, led the team. She has been Casey Travers as well, coming off here with 262 points, 122 rebounds. Two players that I think are going to lead this offense today out on the court.
And why don't we, now that we went over some key players, we're going to have to talk about some keys to the game for each team. For Ithaca, I think you could agree with me here. They need to use their experience. They have plenty of it. They've been through success. They've been through heartbreak. And a lot of those same players that went through all those roller coasters of emotions, they're back here tonight, like we mentioned. Volpe, Albertelli, Emily Dorn, Natalie Smith, Cameron Coffey. So they're going to have to use their experience, not only in this game, but throughout the rest of the season, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a team that has kind of seen a lot of it through this point. They've been down against really close opponents and made comebacks. They know how to play really good teams, and they've had a lot of confidence at the Ben Light Gymnasium. Last year, they were incredibly talented when they were at home. They were 15-2 in games they played in Ithaca. One of those two losses was the last game of the season. And this is a team that I think should be playing off of that, knowing how the crowd feeds into them here at Ben Light and playing off of that throughout this year.
And for Cortland, I think it's showing up with confidence. You know, they have a large senior class, but those players didn't really have a lot of time on the court. They had some, but I don't think it's enough to match the experience that Ithaca comes out with.
Yeah, this team has been young. Last year, they had 2 seniors and a grad student. Only one of their seniors has come back for that extra year. Many juniors on that team that are now seniors, but no first years on that last team. This is a team that will need to step into those roles they haven't had to before. A year of leadership, finding out what they're made of. I believe they've got not a lot of first years on this team this year. They're trying to learn and find their footing in years where they've kind of had their foot placed, and now they all have to figure it out as seniors, and whether or not some of them are going to come back next year is a question for later.
It's experience against confidence for sure in this game. Both teams are coming into this game after facing early defeat in the NCAA tournament last season. Ithaca, with that bitter taste in their mouths, looking to start a new run with new confidence. Cortland, on the other hand, trying to address some unfinished business of their own as well. And what better way to start the year against your most hated rival? In this wild week of Cortica matchups, the question is, who will be the first to set the tone and bring home the first win and take bragging rights? It's Cortland, it's Ithaca, it's opening night, it's next.
WICB is integrating your weekends. Weekend ribbons, ladies first, female-fronted, hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Catch your favorite women in the game Sunday nights from 10 to midnight, only here, WICB.
This is Anton Pieri, WICB's music director. Tune in to the new
Well, hello there, gentlemen.
Monday night from 8 to 9.
I've got Kyle. Do I have Josh?
Fresh modern rock tracks I add to the station each week for the first time.
Here we go. Kyle, talk for me.
Cover the
Just want to make sure you're not...
before they talk the track.
That sounds really nice. I'm sure Nick's got you guys all figured out up there.
And the newest news.
How are we feeling in terms of timing?
That's Monday nights from 8 to 9 on 92 WICB.
Well, you guys are starting before the anthem, right? Like, we're going to give Jaden a talk set, right? All right, this will be the last promo, and I will throw you guys a bed, and we'll go. You got it. 15 seconds on this. I'll give you some bed, and I'll count you in.
We'll highlight the hits
Fix the flops.
and cover more niche topics of musical theater every other week.
Search WICB Presents Your Wednesday Matinee wherever you get your podcasts.
That's WICB presents your Wednesday matinee to claim your front row seat.
All right, guys, we're going in 5, 4, 3.
As the leaves start to fall on the South Hill, the seedling known as college basketball begins to bud as the Ithaca College Bombers open up the season in Ben Light Gymnasium against the Cortland Red Dragons. How are we doing, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast. Alongside Josh Hobbs, I'm Kyle DeSantis. Jaden Becker is down on the sidelines. We'll hear from him shortly. Josh, looking back at the abrupt end to last season for Ithaca women's basketball, you know for sure that head coach Dan Raymond wants his team to start tonight off on the right foot with a win.
That's exactly right, Kyle. This Ithaca team comes into the season ranked number 20 in Division III basketball. Obviously, abrupt ending to the season last season against Springfield, but this Bombers team, obviously, they're bringing back a lot of veteran leadership. I'm expecting this team to be just as good this season as they were last season.
A lot of veterans as well. You look at Natalie Smith, you look at Emily Dorn, you look at Cameron Coffey. Those are three seniors. Kara Volpe is back for his graduate year as well. But one of the things that Coach Dan Raymond does every year, he finds a specific word to really describe this team. And for more on what the word is for this season, we go down to Jaden Becker. Jaden?
Thank you, guys. Great to be back here with you. I can look back all the way to the Bombers match against Springfield College in the spring of 2022 as the season ended. Now, back here at the start of the new Bombers season, and what a way we're about to kick off. The energy is high here in Ben Light Gymnasium. You can almost feel it. It's almost tangible as we lead into Cortica weekend coming up here as the Bombers take on SUNY Cortland. One word that has echoed through the locker room of the Ithaca Bombers is the word more. Coach Raymond says more can be used in a variety of contexts. Coach Raymond said, quote, basically, it's about wanting more in order to accomplish more. We have all to commit to doing more. Many faces are still here with the Bombers from last season, and many with the thought of last season's defeat still sticking in their minds. Guys?
Thank you so much, Jaden. And also looking at the word more was also on the back of all of the players' practice jerseys for Ithaca, so that shows how much, again, that this word means for the Bombers this season. And overall, Josh, I'm looking forward to another season of Ithaca women's basketball.
I could not be more excited, Kyle. I mean, we already got Cortica happening this Saturday, but we got the early Cortica today. I cannot wait for this Bombers team to take the floor tonight.
Yeah, a version of Cortica, obviously not exactly. That'll be this Saturday on the gridiron, but again, college basketball on the South Hill is about to get underway as we're getting ready to hear who the starting lineups are for both Ithaca and Cortland. But overall, again, you look at these two teams, Josh, you have Ithaca ranked number 20 going in. Look at Cortland as well. They're receiving votes.
Yes, this Cortland team, this is the only team last season, Kyle, only 4 teams last year beat this Ithaca squad that was unbelievable last year, and Cortland was one of them. It was a very close game, and I'm expecting a great battle here tonight. This Cortland team is not a team that you can take for granted.
We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. We'll be right back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off. You're listening to Ithaca College Basketball on 92 WICB.
Are you an adoptive parent, foster parent, raising a relative's child? Raising children with loss and early childhood trauma can be difficult because these children require different parenting approaches. Contact us for help at the Adoptive and Foster Family Coalition of New York's free 24/7 helpline at 888-354-1342. That's 888-354-1342. Or find us online at affcny.org.
Scores, news, highlights, interviews, and more. Sports talk this and every Sunday right here on 91.7 FM WICB Ithaca.
This is Anton Pieri, WICB's music director. Tune in to the new music show every Monday night from 8 to 9. Here are the fresh modern rock tracks I add to the station each week for the first time on air. Discover the next big stars before they top the charts. And the newest music.
All right, guys, we're coming back right after this promo. We're coming in hot.
That's Monday nights from 8 to 9 on 92 WICB.
In 5, 4, 3.
And now, let's be tonight's starters. First for the visitors.
Welcome back to Ben Light Gymnasium here for Ithaca College Women's Basketball on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. Kyle DeSantis, Josh Hobbs, and Jaden Becker on the call. The starting lineups are being introduced now for both Ithaca and Cortland. As we look at the starting lineup for the Cortland Red Dragons, they're going to have a 3-guard and 2-forward set. They have Julia Seiler, Emily Morano, Casey Travers, Maggie Malone, and Nia Longford. Josh, those last 2 players are big names to talk about.
Yeah, Nia Longford and Malone, great players last season. Both incredible production from this for Cortland last season. I'm going to be looking as well at Seiler. Didn't get a lot of production last year. There's definitely going to be some players that are going to be needing to step up into bigger roles this season, especially.
And now we look at the Ithaca College starting lineup. Natalie Smith, an interesting story. She's a senior guard. It's her 50th game in an Ithaca College uniform tonight. The first time she's ever started for the team. Also, Emily Dorn, Cameron Coffey, Lindsay Albertelli, and Cara Volpe. Coffey, Albertelli, and Volpe were all starters last season. Dorn was the first woman off the bench. And overall, you talk about the holes that need to be filled, rather, by Grace Cannon and Megan Yeoman and a plethora of seniors who graduate. Those are very suitable competitors.
That's exactly right, Cal. The losses of Megan Yeoman and Grace Cannon are going to be sorely missed this season. But never fear, the Bombers still got Cara Volpe, Lindsay Albertelli, Cameron Coffey. They have been staples in this Ithaca lineup for so many years. We're definitely going to be needing to see a lot more from Natalie Smith and Emily Dorn. But these 2 have been already big producers in the past. I think this Ithaca Bombers team is well on their way to having another very good season.
As we get the final conferences, with the coaches for both Ithaca and Cortland. You look at Dan Raymond. This is his 23rd season coaching Ithaca College basketball. You look at Cortland. They're going to be moving from right to left, but that coaching staff as well was the SUNYAC coaching staff of the year last season long. As we're looking now at the jump, it's going to be Maggie Malone, the 5'9" senior forward jumping, when it's going to be for Cortland. Officially waiting on the final look at for who's jumping for the Bombers, as some final high fives being exchanged, Josh.
It's that time, Kyle. We've waited all off season for this tip and for this game here. I cannot be more ready.
And the jumper for the Bombers is going to be Emily Dorn. Emily Dorn, looking at that, a 5'11" senior forward. So it's going to be Dorn and Malone. Ithaca moving left to right, and Cortland from right to left. It's Cortland who wins the tip. They're in their red uniforms and white trim. Ithaca in their white uniforms and blue trim. Left wing now, Morano. Taking the screen from Longford. Now, right near the top of the key, Malone. Swings it over. Down low, a good cut by Malone in the layup for the first points.
Great find there by Cortland. 2 easy points. Let's see what they could do now on the offensive end.
2-0 Cortland, 9:33 to go in quarter number 1. Volpe on the left wing swings it over to Albertelli, and now Cameron Coffey. Volpe with a cut through. Emily Dorn, a layup of her own to knot it up at 2.
We're just talking, how are these 2 new starters going to be impacting the Bombers so far? Great start.
Longford top of the key, guarded by Albertelli. Left wing, it's Morano. She shoots a left wing 3, and that makes it go. That goes down for a 5-2 Cortland lead. All possessions so far have resulted in scores. The first 3 combined between both squads. Albertelli, top of the key, right wing, Kara Volpe. Albertelli. Now top, it's Dorn. Left wing to Smith. Smith again. A 3 of her own from the left wing, and she makes it true.
Great pick there, leaving Natalie Smith wide open on that 3. Lots of scoring here so far.
8:43 to go in quarter number 1. In the score, it's 5-5 between Ithaca and Cortland. Emily Dorn going across the screen, guarding Emily Morano. Now at the top, guarding Nia Longford, left wing. It's Seiler. Malone. Looking to the left, it's Morano again for a 3 try, and she swishes it.
They just got to get out on that shooter more. They're leaving them way too much space early on, Kyle.
8-5. 5 possessions combined for both teams. 5 total baskets. Dorn. Now Volpe. Volpe down low to Smith, who's going to try to run the baseline and go off the left wing to Coffey. Coffey 3 ball. Off the back iron and rebounded by Malone, though she is heavily pressured by Dorn and Smith. Has to pass out, and she gets it through. That one was over to Casey Travers. Travers, the senior guard. Looking for a screen from Malone. Travers is top of the key. Right wing, Seiler. Few Red Dragons cutting, but it's going to be Malone on the left wing. Tried to pass down into Longford at the free throw line, but it's tipped away and stolen by the Bombers. Smith, right wing. Volpe. Top of the key to Coffey. Left wing now to Albertelli. Top of the key to Dorn. 7:30 to go in the quarter. Crossover by Smith. Pass out to Dorn. 12 on the shot clock, top of the key. Left wing to Coffey. Now 9 on the shot clock. Coffey's going to drive, go for the layup. Bounce off, no good. Second chance, from Dorn is tipped away and stolen by Cortland. Right to left. Crossover Morano. Keeps it herself. Too strong on the layup. Albertelli rebound. Smith moving left to right, guarded by Travers, and a foul called. Foul is on the senior guard. She had 5 steals in 2021 when Ithaca and Cortland played back on November 19th of last year. Volpe passing it out. A fresh 24 on the shot clock and 7 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Down low, tipped away by Longford. Longford moving from right to left. Guarded by Smith, and another foul called.
Yeah, you just mentioned it there, Kyle. Gotta be careful with the ball here. A couple sloppy turnovers from the Bombers in these last 2 possessions.
Natalie Smith was trying to pick the pockets of Nia Longford, but the foul was called, and it's going to be Longford who takes it out. Cortland again, going from right to left. 6:53 to go in quarter number 1. Seiler, right wing Travers, 3 ball. Rebounded Albertelli. Smith moving the fast break left to right. Smith trying to drive, guarded by Travers, keeps the ball, rather loses it. Has to pass out to Dorn, and the ball was tipped away, but apparently went off of a Bomber. It's Cortland ball.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there from Natalie Smith. Last possession, same thing there as well. Obviously, more minutes, obviously going to be getting more experience, but got to clean those up.
After a hot start for both teams, they've nearly been scoreless for 2 minutes apiece. Right wing down low, Malone, it's Albertelli. She picks it off. Smith with the ball, guarded by Travers, who's playing ahead of the midcourt line. Volpe going to drive, go for the layup. Too strong once more, rebounded by Seiler. The left perimeter. Driving on Dorn, good defense there. Longford. Few steal attempts by Coffey, but it's a pass out again for Cortland. It's Malone with the shot, bouncing off the front of the rim and rebounded by Dorn. Coffey on the 2v2. Pass to Albertelli, left wing to Smith. 5:48 to go in quarter number 1 here on 92 WICB. Top of the key once more for Smith. Crossover for Seiler. Right wing jumper. Cortland once more with the rebound. Cross-court pass to Travers. Left corner 3. Too much. Rebounded by Albertelli, and now Smith against a pressing Casey Travers. Travers has done that so far throughout this game. Now 5:15 to go in quarter number 1. Doran top of the key. Right corner to Coffey, now into Albertelli. Has to dribble and shoot a fadeaway shot that got nothing but air.
Yeah, I think she got away with a travel there as well. This Bombers team, after the first 2 minutes, Kyle, it's been kind of, they haven't got an offense going, taking some ill-advised shots. I think they may be looking for some better shot selection as they go forward.
3 subs for the Bombers, and it's new players in Hannah Polche and Annabella Uriel, and one of the first years on this team, Zoraida Isabel Seta. Left wing, it's Coffey. And it's Uriel taking at the top of the key. A dribbling Seiler. Also some subs as Corin Miedrich is in the game for Cortland. Left wing Travers fakes the 3, tries to drive with a stunner, step up and in.
Beautiful Euro there. Cortland now takes the 10-5 lead.
10-5 lead, 4:36 to go, quarter number 1. Hannah Polche bringing the ball up as the point. 2 passes, it's swung to Coffey on the right wing. Now Annabella Uriel, the sophomore. Albertelli. Off of the screen from Uriel. Stops her dribble, tries to get her to move, but the ball is punched away and recovered by Polche. 7 on the shot clock, now 6. Isabel Seta down to Uriel, 3 on the clock. Underhand layup. Too strong once more, it's happened a few times. Cortland with the ball. Pass to Malone in the far corner. Miedrich trying to post up. Left wing, it's swung over to Morano. Top of the key now once more. Isabel Seta guarding Malone. Game clock down to 11, and it's going the other way. Ithaca ball.
That's a Cortland foul number 22, Maggie Malone. That's her first foul, team seconds. Ithaca ball.
It's going to be Maggie Malone with the foul, her first of the day. It's going to be Isabel Seta bringing the ball up. And Isabel Seta, someone from Virginia, Falls Church to be exact, in her first game for Ithaca. Uriel, Hannah Polche, right wing. Left elbow now. Albertelli, she pulls up. Right elbow too far to the left, tipped away, and the whistle blows for a Cortland possession.
Yeah, last few possessions, Kyle, not liking the shot selection for the Bombers. Got him down low on the last possession, but I'm going to look. I think the Bombers should be looking to get more, driving down the lane, but they just haven't been able to do it so far.
Emily Dorn comes back in to replace Lindsay Albertelli as Ithaca is now they've been scoreless for more than the past 5 minutes. In that time, it's been Cortland who's gone on a 5-0 run to a 10-5 lead with 3:26 to go in quarter number 1. Top of the key, Morano. Pass, little floater over to Malone, trying to back her way down. It's a layup and a foul called. It's going to be Miedrich going to the line for a pair. First free throws all season, or rather, it is all season technically, and the first tonight by either side. Miedrich, the lefty, goes up, banks it in. She hit 72% of those last season.
44% from three-point as well. Miedrich definitely the best shooter on this Cortland squad this year.
65 attempts, 29 makes at that. That's how we got to that 44% mark. As Cortland now leads 11-5, 3:18 to go in the first quarter. Second free throw. It's true with a swish. 12-5, the score in favor of Cortland, as it's going to be Nia Longford coming in for Casey Travers. Hannah Polche will bring the ball up for IC as Emily Dorn passes it out. Ithaca still moving left to right. Cortland in right to left fashion. Right wing, Isabel Seta swings it to Uriel. Top of the key to Emily Dorn, now the left corner. Polche 3. Swish.
They needed that one, Kyle. Definitely broke that extended scoring drought. Let's see if they can play some defense here.
The defense is needed. They are down 4, 2:51 to go as Hannah Polche, the leading percentage shooter who shot 43% for Ithaca from behind the three-point line last season, brings the Bombers within 4. Cortland moving the ball around. Malone on the right wing. Left wing now, a pass over the air to Potenza. The shot clock, was down to 7, and a shot was forced. Isabel Seta speeding her way down the left wing. Gets the space up and tried to pass over to Dorn, but good job by Yorio to pick it up back to Dorn for a mid-range shot off the back iron. Isabel Seta now moving top of the key. She's guarded by Potenza. Right wing Polche. Isabel Seta, first mid-range shot, little too much so far. 2:05 to go, quarter number 1. Down low. Great steal attempt there by Yorio, and a great effort there by Isabel Seta. The 3-ball try rings true for Emily Morano. 15-8 the score in favor of the Cortland Red Dragons as Polche goes baseline and passes up top to Coffey. Her 3. Off the back iron, and the effort there by Isabel Seta to save the ball for Ithaca does not work out.
Isabel Seta has been everywhere so far in the early portion of this first quarter. Love the efforts both on the offensive and defensive end so far.
Some additional substitutions in for the Bombers as Yorio and Cameron Coffey both sit with 1:36 to go in quarter number 1. Isabel Seta top of the key guarding the starter and Seiler. Now Morano trying to pass down low to Malone. The ball is tipped around, and it's Isabel Seta to Volpe. That's the layup.
Great pass there from Isabel Seta, right on the money.
Midrick tried to go down low to Malone, but Dorn tipped it out of bounds. 1:13 to go in quarter number 1.
Got to that pass from Isabel Seta, right on the money to Volpe, licking out in transition. 2 quick points for the Bombers there.
Sub for the Red Dragons. Casey Travers in for Emily Morano. Cortland takes it out from underneath the basket. 1:13 again to go in quarter number 1. Longford, left corner, guarded by Dorn. That's a matchup to watch. And the charge, Paul, it's Hannah Polche who is able to position herself. Force the turnover.
A little bit of a questionable call, but Polche did establish position. Not sure if Nia Longwood had completely ran into her squarely, but decent call by the ref.
Natalie Smith bringing the ball up for the Bombers as she checks back into the game now on the right wing. Moving the offense, rather, Isabel Seta and Volpe moving between the Cortland defenders. Isabel Seta with the layup for her first points in an IC uniform. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. A move there by Seiler. And a foul underneath on a second chance attempt.
This Bombers squad's got to work a little bit harder on the defensive end. I'm not seeing as much effort as I'd like to see out here.
That's something that head coach Dan Raymond is especially going to want to address. Left wing, it's Travers. Top of the key, now Midrick. Guarded by Kara Volpe, now Longford trying to work against the Midrick screen. Top of the key, Travers. 27 seconds to go, 8 on the shot clock. Travers has to pass to Longford. 4 on the shot clock. Long mid-range. Rebounded, it's Dorn. 16 to go in the first quarter. Pass to Smith. Almost didn't see it was there. Left wing to Polche. 8 now to go. Top of the key. Polche down low to Dorn at the left elbow. Left wing Isabel Seta. 3-ball swish. 15 all through quarter number 1.
What a great first quarter by Isabel Seta. 5 points and playing some fantastic defense on both sides.
Talking about the defense, and we talk about a tie ball game. We're in between quarter number 1 and quarter number 2. We send it down to the third member of our broadcast crew, and Jaden Becker.
Thank you, guys. At the start of the new season, head coach Dan Raymond is looking to continue their success from last year, and he says it all stems from communication. Dan Raymond said, quote, communicating with each other as well as the coaches is the key to building the connections necessary to build and climb up the steps of the level of success that they want and they expect from this team. A strong sense of communication here in the first quarter, all tied up 15 apiece. Guys?
Thank you so much, Jaden. And communication especially is something that is really needed for this Ithaca team. As you look at some of the seniors that graduated after last season, Megan Yallman, who is actually in the building tonight, so she was able to come back. But Grace Cannon, another big factor for the Bombers, who is not on the team.
Yeah, we saw Yallman right before the game, giving her props to all her fellow Bombers that she was playing with last season. She will be sorely missed. But let's go back to Zoraida Isabel-Seta so far. 5 points already in her Ithaca debut, and I've loved the effort she's given on both the offense and defense so far. I would not be surprised if we're going to be seeing more of Isabel-Seta later in this game.
Yeah, you look at Isabel-Seta, she's the smallest person, she's the smallest girl on the team at 5'4", but she's able to really get down and zoom between. As with that 3-ball, Ithaca ended that first quarter on a 7-0 run in the final 2 minutes to tie the score up at 15 apiece as we are just about to start quarter number 2 here on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network for Ithaca and Cortland in women's basketball. Ithaca still moving from left to right on your radio dial. Isabel-Seta will pass out to Polche. Travers again guarding at the midcourt stripe. Moving for Isabel-Seta, right wing. Tries to go baseline now. Goes baseline and tries to pass out to Volpe, but the pass is tipped away. Picked off by Morano on the left wing, guarded heavily by Kara Volpe as she hands off to Nia Longford. Longford, cross-court pass to Seiler, right wing. Great defense there by Isabel-Seta, forces them to rethink. 12 on the shot clock as Longford moves the screen to Morano. Right wing Seiler, down low to Longford, baseline. Pass out. Right wing 3, Morano. Too short, rebounded Volpe.
Still no points yet for Nia Longford, one of the better players for Cortland last season. We'll see if she can get going in the second quarter.
Polche to the top for Albertelli, who swings it over to Kara Volpe on the right wing. Right elbow jump shot by Emily Dorn, the first time she sinks one of those.
It wasn't pretty, but she got to go down.
Ithaca 17-15, they have the lead, 8:58 to go in quarter number 2. Left wing Seiler guarded by Polche. Ithaca's doing a good job of working off of the screens, the top part of the perimeter. Down low, that is Logan Streety in the game. The right wing 3 is true. Once more for Cortland, that one is Casey Travers.
Good defense there by the Bombers, just made a good shot.
Her third 3 try on the night, her first make, as Cortland retakes the lead, 18-17. Left wing, or rather top of the key still for Volpe. Down low, Isabel-Seta on the far corner. Was looking down for Dorn, but heavily defended by Long. Right wing, Polche 3. Too short, and it bounces out of bounds underneath.
Yeah, not a big fan of that shot. Still got 10 seconds left on the shot clock, plus there was good coverage right in her face. Probably should look for a better shot selection there, Kyle.
It's going to be right to left where Cortland moves as Julia Seiler brings it up. Streety, handoff back to Seiler, trying to work at the top of the key, and Streety's with the screen. Left wing to Longford. Big layup through transition, and it's rebounded by Albertelli. Albertelli hands it behind to Isabel-Seta, who brings it up, speeding her way from left to right. Passes out to Polche, another right wing 3. Off to the left, but Volpe gets it for a second chance. Tried the back row to Seiler, top of the key Albertelli. 15 on the game clock. It's Dorn trying to muscle her way past Longford, off the front of the rim. Right to left, it's Seiler bringing the ball up. Longford, a 3. Yes! It's Longford's first 3 of the night, and Cortland leads 21-17. Volpe, Dorn right elbow. Middle cut from Volpe, and another layup to lower the deficit rather to 2. 7:11 to go in the first half from Ben Light Gymnasium. Tanya Watkins will come in as Isabel-Seta tips the ball away for a 3-on-3 opportunity. Tried to pass to Volpe on the left wing, and Longford kicked the ball out for a violation.
Another great defensive effort there by Isabel-Seta, cutting off the pass and then getting the steal. Couldn't get the pass through on the transition attempt, but still great steal there by Isabel-Seta.
For the Ithaca Bombers, it's Isabel-Seta and Cameron Coffey who are out, or rather Coffey is in the game. It was Dorn who sat down. And it is Anya Watkins who steps into the game for the first time. Another sophomore on this Ithaca team. It's Watkins on the ball on the right wing, guarded by Nia Longford. Albertelli, and a foul against the Bombers switches the possession back to the Red Dragons. 6:46 to go in the second quarter as a substitution is made. It is Maggie Malone coming back in, replacing a fellow starter in Nia Longford.
Getting our first look at Anya Watkins, number 30 here for the Bombers, guarding up number 15 for Cortland.
She's going to be guarding in Logan Streety at that. Polche heavily defending Casey Travers on the left wing. It's Albertelli who takes over. Quick passes, and it's Malone with a shot too much. Polche bringing the ball up on the fast break. Looking down for Albertelli, but she thought it was a kicked ball. It's not the case. This is a no call there. It's Cortland with possession. Malone, guarded by Albertelli, and it's Travers after the handoff. Spins her way through, up and under for a quick layup. 23-19, Red Dragons over Ithaca.
Good defense there by Albertelli, but just a better spin move there. 2 points for Cortland.
Polche. Now to Albertelli, left wing Volpe. Anya Watkins, top of the key. One dribble and pass to Coffee. He tries to drive with the left. And the whistle called. Foul on the floor.
Yeah, sadly, no NBA rules here tonight. No and one there. Good drive, though, by Coffee.
The foul was on Emily Morano. 23-19, 5:47 to go in quarter number 2 as the Bombers take it out underneath the basket. Jillian Payne will actually check in for Albertelli. The first time Payne comes in, the 5'10 sophomore guard from Massachusetts. Payne passes out to Volpe. Right wing, going baseline. Layup, it's swatted away out of bounds. Casey Travers. Great defense.
Yeah, that was a set play there for Payne, trying to get the three-point shot off of the inbounds, but taken there by Volpe, but just got the shot denied.
Another time for Payne to pass out, this time from underneath the basket, trying to find someone, but has to pass over top to Volpe. 12 on the shot clock. She tries to drive left, and a blocking call was on Travers, who tried to get her feet set.
Yeah, when Kara Volpe gets ahead of steam, get out of the way, Cal, because that is a graduate student with lots of experience coming right at you. Nothing much you can do there if you're Cortland.
For Travers, that is foul number 2. And she comes out for the graduate guard in Julia Seiler. Payne for the third time in around a minute, I should say, passing the ball out from underneath after coming in. Look for a cutting Watkins, but passes left wing to Polche. 18 on the shot clock. 5:34 to go. Left wing to Payne, swings it to Volpe. Far corner. Watkins, top of the key. Right wing to Payne. Payne, a 3-ball. Nothing but air, and it's Cortland and Seiler bringing the ball from right to left. Looking to cross over Volpe. It's Tillotson now in. Streety with a fadeaway shot off the front of the rim, rebounded by Anya Watkins. Polche from left to right. Coffee, a big pass, down low to Volpe. Tried to go one more time to Watkins. The ball will stay in favor of the Bombers.
Yeah, Volpe trying to force that pass in there, did not get there. Now we'll see another inbounds by Jillian Payne.
Cortland leads 23-19, 5:03 to go. Coffee, left corner 3. A little short underneath. Payne was the basket, but wasn't able to get the rebound.
Still scoreless for Cameron Coffee so far with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Silent. It's going the other way. Ithaca with possession as Payne will pass out. Call was on Maggie Malone as Isabel Seta comes in for Hannah Polche. Thing I will say about Isabel Seta, that is going to be a name that you're going to love to hear over the PA.
Yeah, the prep for the Isabel Seta name. I love all our Bombers, so I appreciate all the names. But Isabel Seta so far in this first half getting a lot of minutes as the starting guard for this Bomber squad.
Yeah, you look at Isabel Seta, and she was state runner-up in high school in 2022. She was also a multi-time district player out of Virginia and Falls Church, as it's the right wing to Isabel Seta now. A quick stutter step and a mid-range shot off of the NCAA logo, picked by Watkins, misses with a second chance layup, while Seta down to Volpe, around and in.
What a play by Isabel Seta. Fakes off the screen, goes down the lane, misses the shot, but then gets the offensive rebound and finds the wide open Bomber for 2 points.
The great stutter step and the vision in the same possession as the ball is tipped away by Payne, as it was Streety trying to go down low to Maggie Malone.
Nia Longford checks in for Malone, who comes back on the bench. Also, Corinne Niedrich is going to come in for Logan Streety. Cortland scoreless nearly their last 2 minutes. Pass out on the right corner. Pass nowhere, intended for Long, as it's Coffey who stops at the right wing behind the three-point line. Down low to Watkins at the right elbow. Step back and a shot, but it's tipped away. It's Corinne Niedrich on the defense.
Yeah, a little early in the shot clock there. Not sure if that was the best shot selection.
3:52 to go in the first half here between Cortland and Ithaca. Left wing down low to Morano on the corner, guarded by Volpe. Trying to wheel her way around, and a nice fake. Rebound long.
And a foul called underneath on the second chance attempt.
So far in the second quarter, the Bombers have done a very good job of keeping Cortland in front of them on these drives to the basket. Just didn't box out the opponent there, so it leads to the foul.
It's going to be Albertelli and Dorn coming in for Payne and Watkins. Some substitutions for the Bombers as Longford goes for the 2 free throws she has earned. First one in. She shot just under 73% from the line last season. It's her junior year, now she's a senior on this Cortland squad. She makes the second one as well. Cortland leads 25-21, 3:39 to go in the first half. Volpe, left wing, Silent with a pick at it. Tried to drive and pass out, but the ball's tipped away, and it's Cortland bringing it up.
Yeah, Cortland was prepared for that, had the whole lane clogged up for Volpe.
Longford with the drive and the foul called. It was Albertelli and Dorn both playing defense. It's going to be Dorn who is called for the foul.
Don't want to give these Red Dragons too many free opportunities at the line, especially when being down by 4.
Yeah, the 4-point deficit is all that separates these two teams, and Emily Dorn is called for the foul, her first on the night. Both Smith and Yorio have 2 as well. The 5th foul all night so far for IC. Longford, free throw. She's 3 for 3 on the night. Make it 4 for 4. 27-21 Cortland. 3:17 to go in the first half. Isabel Seta hands off to Albertelli. Left wing to Volpe. Now further down the left wing for Coffey. Guarded heavily by Morano behind the 3-point arc. Albertelli fakes the pass to Dorn. Right wing Isabel Seta. 12 on the shot clock. Stutter step. Albertelli. She has to shoot it. Too far. And another whistle flies.
Still no points for either Cameron Coffey or Lindsay Albertelli. The Bombers are going to need both of these veterans to be stepping up if they want to have any chance in this game.
The good thing to note about this is that this is only the first half. There are still 20 minutes after these next 2:48 pass by to come back, but that's when the time is against you. You don't want that, regardless who you are. Right wing, Niedrich, drive in the far layup. Enough power to push it over, and Isabel Seta bringing it up. Stutter step, pass left to Volpe. She drives, goes for the layup of her own. It's too far off the backboard. She tried to pass it away, but her foot was still on the line.
Not going to miss too many from Volpe right there, right underneath the basket. I'm telling you, when the Bombers are getting out in transition, and especially with Isabel Seta bringing the ball up the court quickly, that's when this Bombers offense has been at its best so far in this game.
It's going to be Annabella Yorio who checks in for Emily Dorn with 2:18 to go in quarter number 2. Cortland brings the ball up, and it's Niedrich on the right elbow. Now a shot from the mid-range line. It's nothing but net. 29-21. Isabel Seta. Free throw line, Albertelli. Free throw shot from the line, bouncing around, but no way to catch the nylon. Longford. Morano trying to use Longford as a screen. Tried to go for a second time, but it's Longford now with the ball guarded by Isabel Seta. Faking the 3, that was Abby McCoy. She goes down, but it's swung
By Albertelli. Yorio. Pass to Volpe. Layup. Good.
Great feed there by Yorio to Volpe on the 2. Let's see if they can get back in transition. Stop.
Cortland trying to take advantage, but it's punched down low by Volpe. Whistle blows, but it will still be Ithaca ball as Longford is called for the foul. 1:26 to go in the first half, 29-23 in favor of the Cortland Red Dragons, the Bombers. A 6-point deficit that they are behind, and they're trying to make up. Isabel Seta. Albertelli drives. Going to say a trip was called. It's going to be on number 33, Corin Miedrich. Another thing to note, as it's going to be Albertelli rather with a pair of free throws. Longford comes out of the game. First free throws all night for IC. And it's off the back right of the iron. You look at Ithaca last year, they shot 68.2% from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's a number that Dan Raymond definitely is going to want to be trying to get up, especially this season. And speaking about Albertelli, hoping that one of these can go through, maybe they can get her scoring going in this game.
It does not seem to be the case as the second free throw bounces away. 1:11 to go. It's Cortland with the ball right to left. Moving around. Pass down low. He's looking for Morano, but the ball was tipped away. It will stay Cortland ball. That was Miedrich. As the box is called by the Red Dragons at the elbows and the low blocks. Three Morano. As true as can be. The net barely moved as Cortland's up by 9. Albertelli now, left wing to Coffey. Coffey still trying to get on the board. Cross-court pass is the ball. Seta, 3 try. She answers.
Already 8 points for 5 points for Isabel Seta. What a debut for this 5'4" guard.
The clock continues to go down. 30 seconds left, and Ithaca with the ball after a fateful pass. Isabel Seta tries to hesitate. Has to pass up top to Volpe. Left wing to Coffey. 20 seconds on the clock in the first half. Isabel Seta. One dribble. Albertelli. Off the handoff. Right wing now to Iorio. Coffey top of the key. 10 on the clock. Left wing. Further left wing. Isabel Seta. The move. The shot. Too short. Rebounded Streety. Trying to move away. Ithaca with a chance. Volpe 3. Too short. Hit the net, but didn't have the power.
Cameron Coffey scoreless in that first half, as well as Lindsay Albertelli. That's definitely going to need to change for the Bombers as they head into the second half.
Yeah, you look at that opportunity for the team, and very soon we're going to have Jaden Becker talking to the head coach of Ithaca College women's basketball and Dan Raymond as he starts to look over with his coaching staff. Looking keyword staff because Mary Mazzella joined the team for this season, so now he has 3 assistant coaches. But overall, Josh, what's something that you've seen from Ithaca so far, again, that you want to be addressed going into the second half?
I think so far the defense they cleaned up the defense a lot in the second quarter. Still want to see a little bit more intensity for the Bombers on the defense as they head into the second half. They've obviously have got to get Cameron Coffey and Lindsay Albertelli going in the scoring booth heading into the second half. But the story of the night for the Bombers so far has been Isabel Seta with her 8 points and fantastic effort on both sides of the ball. That has been the only spark plug for the Bombers so far in this first half.
Yeah, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And you saw one of those assists she had. She got the ball immediately, passed it down low on the block.
Her speed alone has been the spark plug for this offense, both getting the ball out in transition, as well as driving past some of these, very, very talented Cortland defenders.
Yeah, she's done a really good job. She's made a big impact. This is her first game, I might add, as an Ithaca Bomber. You look at her, she's a first year again out of Meridian High School, Falls Church, Virginia. She was the first team all-district, all-region. That was all 4 years. She, if you look at the awards and the stats that she accumulated throughout her 4 years in high school down in Virginia, you can see that she definitely knows her way around the basketball court.
Absolutely, and obviously with the losses of both Megan Yaman and Grace Cannon heading into the season, a huge question was who's going to be taking over some of these point guard roles heading into this season. If Isabel Seta is able to keep up this level of play heading throughout the season, I got no doubt that she's going to be seeing a lot more minutes going forward.
Yeah, you look at some other people for Ithaca as well. You have Kara Volpe as well with 8 points. She shot 4 for 7 from the field. Now, it was Isabel Seta who actually had 2 assists and 1 rebound and 2 steals as well. So she's also showing her effectiveness at being able to poke away any loose balls. Who else for the Bombers? It's Natalie Smith. She does have a 3 as well. You've seen the scoring around 5 different Bombers as you look at this lead once more, and rather the score, it is 32-26 in favor for Cortland over Ithaca here on Ben Light Gymnasium. But overall, for a first game, we've really seen the energy so far through these first 20 minutes, Josh.
Yes, both from Cortland and Ithaca, as well as these fans. I mean, these fans have come out and shown support for this Bomber squad. They know how good this Bomber squad was last year. They come into this year ranked number 20, and they obviously got some questions to solve along. Who's going to be the starting lineup going forward? Will Natalie Smith be getting more minutes? Will Isabel Safe be that surprise, lead guard in her this is her first debut as a Bomber, already playing fantastic. I think we're going to be seeing a lot. We're going to learn a lot more in the second half about who's going to be in the starting lineup starting in the second half, Kyle.
Yeah, the second half, I feel like we're going to see a better representation. Obviously, we've only watched this new Bombers team for 20 minutes. We don't know exactly the identity of this team, and that's what all these non-conference games are about leading up into December, where you find the identity of this team. You're going to see some difference in rotations as we apparently could be going down low on the sidelines, and that could be the case. Jaden, take it away.
Here with head coach Dan Raymond. Coach, what's going to be your message to your team in this halftime locker room?
Well, obviously we got to know where number 5 is. We got to make sure that we do a good job on her. Defensively, I thought we're doing a pretty good job overall. Offensively, a little bit more patience, better decisions on offense.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jaden. Again, number 5 for Cortland in Emily Morano. You look at Morano, she has 9 points so far on the day, and we are only through one half. We're going to go to the halftime show with Tobias Zabori and Rocco DiMilo after a quick break. You're still tuned in to 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network.
Want to hear more female artists on the Station for Innovation? Tune in to Eve Out Loud to hear a variety of female-fronted music. Sunday nights at 8 on 92 WICB.
At WICB, diversity and inclusion are among you guys there? WICB affirms its long-term commitment to supporting these values and the fight for racial justice. Right. We are proud to feature musical artists from diverse. How much time is on the clock right now? Those in Ithaca, plus across the state, the country, and the world. All right, cool. And he said we're also proud to tell our community stories ethically and thoroughly. WICB's Black Lives Matter interview series, produced in connection with ICTV, and WICB's Asian and Ithaca series are available on our website. I can do one more if you need. Search WICB Presents Ithaca Now. Resources, stories, and more information. 3, 2, WICB.org.
Relatively low scoring for the first half of this matchup between the Cortland Red Dragons and the Ithaca Bombers, but it is the visitors, Cortland, that are up with the 6-point lead, 32-26, as we welcome you to the halftime show here on WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. Again, I'm Rocco DiMilo alongside Tobias Zabori. Thanks for tuning in to this our first edition of the season of Ithaca women's basketball here on WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. And, let's get right to it here. I mean, like we said, relatively low scoring. We're seeing a lot more confidence, like we mentioned that Cortland should have coming into this game, considering what their squad is made up of. But Ithaca not doing all that much to score in the paint and inside the key.
No, the Bombers have struggled today when it's come to getting inside that paint and getting those points close to the net. They've just, they got to clean that up a little bit, especially if they want to take down this Cortland team and build back this deficit. There have been a lot of opportunities in the paint, despite the fact that they lead in the paint by scoring 14-6, where they've left a lot of points on the board. They've also taken a lot of shots that have been, to say the least, confusing, either contested or in an area where it felt like they could have gone to someone else who had a better look at the net. There have been a lot of air balls and a lot of balls that have fallen short of the net that the Bombers are going to have to clean up if they want to come back and win this game in the second half.
Lindsay Albertelli was at the line for 2, the only 2 free throws of this game thus far for the Bombers. She missed both of them. But on the other hand, for Cortland, they were able to convert on all of them, 6, 4, 6. So going into the season, as we're seeing our first little bits, our first taste of what this Bombers team looks like to start. Obviously, as we see with these stats, there was only 2 free throws, but free throws can be a factor. It could be a negative factor if you continue the way you are. the way it is right now on paper, I should say.
Not only can it be the factor, it's the deciding factor right now. Cortland leads by 6 points. If you take those 6 free throws off the board, it is a tie game as we go into the half. So those free throws are proving detrimental to the Bombers. And you look, they had 2 points that they could have put up on the board, made this a 4-point game as they went into the half. They just missed those. And so for Ithaca, you know, they've been a second-half team. Last year, especially down the stretch, they were a second-half team. They're going to have to do that again and put this first half behind them if they want to come back and win this opening night.
And if we flip that analogy around and say, you know, those 6, like you mentioned, those 6 free throws, could have had those 6 free throws not have happened, this would have been a tie game. So that definitely brings up a discussion in terms of fouls and how you're fouling inside the key while they're shooting, and that could be a factor as well for sure. You got to keep it. If you're Ithaca, you got to just take that little step back. Of course, you know, a foul can happen, of course, but when you're trying to find that balance between defense and, of course, fouling.
Yeah, the Bombers, 8 fouls. They lead the day on fouls to compare with the 2 teams. So those fouls kind of playing a bit of a factor here in this game for the Bombers. And if you take some of those off, you take opportunities away from Cortland. And that's everything the Bombers need to do. Don't let the Red Dragons get a chance to score, because if you do, you're lowering your own chances in this game. So for Ithaca, second half, I expect to see them clean it up massively if they want to come out in this second half and win this game.
And we talk about some key players coming into this game for Ithaca. I think there's a new player that's on our radar. She is a first-year, number 31, Zoraida Isabalseta. You know, putting up about a couple threes, yeah, for the Bombers. And, you know, she's one of those players that is definitely, she's going to be one of those X-Factor players, I should say, for sure.
Yeah, Isabalseta, she hit a 3 to end the first quarter, which had the game tied at 15 as we went into that break. She's had some key performances out there. She's looked really good on the day, even if she hasn't been making all of her shots so far on the day. She tied for the team lead in 8 points with Cara Volpe. She's 2 for 2 on her threes, 2 assists and 2 steals. She's quickly, in her first game in a Bombers uniform, becoming a standout player for the Bombers, and maybe a name we're going to have to watch here in Ithaca as this year continues.
And on the flip side of the coin, you have Cortland's number 5, Emily Morano, 12 points thus far on the day, 4 for 8 in field. That's a 50% field goal percentage. And she's 4 for 5 from beyond the 3-point line. So obviously that's going to be a key player to watch out for throughout the rest of this game. You're going to want to mark up Morano if you're an Ithaca Bomber.
Yeah, Morano, 12 points, as you said. The team, she also 4 for 5 leads in 3-pointers and has been a big part of that. The Red Dragons, 4 for their last 5 in 3 points has been a big reason why they have this lead. The Bombers, on the other hand, on a streak, 1 of their last 6 threes has made the net. They have been struggling to get those points. It kind of seems like right now everything is breaking Cortland's way, and Morano has been a huge part of that. So if the Bombers want to turn it around, you got to focus on Morano and take opportunities away from her, flip the ball around, and maybe give it to Zoraida.
And why don't we talk about a little bit of defensively for Cortland, something that has really stood out as well. Their rebounding abilities for Cortland. We have number 4, Julia Seiler, with 6 rebounds thus far in this first half, in the first 20 minutes of this game. And then right behind her with 4 rebounds is Nia Longford. So defensively, they're making their presence known down low, right under the basket.
They're getting those rebounds, but you look as a whole right now, it's just winning in the margins for Cortland. 19 rebounds for the Red Dragons, 19 rebounds for the Bombers. It's just at the top. Seiler and Longford have made their presence felt more than it feels like Ithaca has made their presence felt. So if you're the Bombers, you know you're tied in that category. Now you have to flip the script and take advantage of that. You're winning numbers-wise. You have everything going for you. Now you just have to do what you did all throughout last year, especially down the stretch against tough opponents like you did against Springfield, Vassar, and St. Lawrence, and that's win late.
And, you know, like you mentioned, this Ithaca team is notorious for being a late in the game comeback kind of team. But other than that, I mean, what are some keys for Ithaca that they're going to have to, that you want to highlight, Tobiah, that they're going to have to step up on if in the rest of these last 20 minutes.
Make your shots. We've seen a lot of shots whiz by the net for the Bombers. They've been airballed, they've been too long, they've been too short, and it's been giving rebound opportunities to Cortland. So for the Bombers, it's make your shots initially. Don't rely on the rebound, because as we've said, it's kind of up in the air as to who's going to get it, and also just be more confident with the ball. We've seen them passing it around a lot. That's something they do a lot, but I think the Bombers need to be more confident and take the shots when they have it, because if you do, that could flip the script right on its head here in this game.
It's 32-26 here as we get set to start the third quarter of this women's basketball Cortland matchup between the Ithaca Bombers and the Cortland Red Dragons. I'm Rocco DiMilo, Tobias Zabora. We're going to sign off for the rest of for the halftime show. We're going to send it right back to our friends Josh Hobbs and Kyle DeSantis for the call for the rest of the 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Ithaca women's basketball will be right back here on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in New York. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by NISFA and the New York State Athletic Administrators Association.
Friday nights are the time to tune in to your favorite funky hits. Hear your favorite musicians such as Earth, Wind and Fire,
Funkadelic. Ready? 10 seconds.
Meters, and more. Tune into The Funk Show, Friday nights at 6 on WICB.
All right, 5. Welcome back here to Ben Light Gymnasium for Ithaca College basketball here on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. Before we come back into it, rather jump back into it, we go down to the third member of our broadcast crew, Jaden Becker.
Thank you, guys. 2 first-year students have made their way onto the Bombers roster this season. Zoraida Isabelcita from Fall Church, Virginia, a guard who earned first-team All-State selections in 2021 and 2022. Along with her, Avery McPeak, a guard from Easton, Pennsylvania. McPeak was a multi-sport athlete at Easton Area High School. Sophomore Isabella Middleman spoke recently with the Ithacan on what this team looks for in new members to the program. She said, quote, not being satisfied with what we have done in the past, being focused on the future and what's ahead of us. Middleman said. She also said, quote, when it comes to attitude, we are looking for people who are committed and really dedicated to the sport. Much is expected from these two moving forward. And a big surprise here, seeing as much action as Isabelcita has been seeing here in the first half. Expect more from that moving into the second. Guys?
Thank you so much, Jaden. Zoraida Isabelcita again. She's tied for the team lead with 8 points, and that tie is with the graduate guard in Kara Volpe.
That's exactly right, Carl. I'm actually surprised she's not even getting the start in the second half based on how well she played in that first half. The 8 points are nice, but I think the biggest contribution from Zoraida Isabelcita so far has been her effort on the defense side of the ball, which at times has been lacking for this Bomber defense.
Yeah, the 5 for Ithaca, it is the starting 5 of Smith, Coffey, it's going to be Albertelli, Dorn, and Volpe. The sides flipped. Cortland moves left to right. Ithaca right to left. It's going to be Emily Morano, a big name in the first half with the ball. Hand off to Longford. Spin move against Albertelli. Layup through the contact, bouncing around and in.
Took a little while for Longford to get going in that first half, but she gets immediately the first basket in the second half.
34-26 in favor of Cortland. 9:34 to go in quarter number 3. Dorn top of the key for Ithaca, again moving right to left. Left wing 3 for Coffey. Tried to bank it in, but rebounded by Volpe. Low block, another pass to Coffey. Another shot, this time it rims around.
Seems to be a little on the rim for Coffey in this game.
Big pass to Malone, but Volpe got her hands up. It bounced off her body. Malone receives it again. Morano on the defense is holding out. It was Albertelli. Great second chance effort, but Smith applied enough pressure. Pass down low to Volpe, trying to cut her way through. Top of the key now, left wing to Smith. 8:59 to go, quarter number 3. At the free throw line, Emily Dorn keeps the ball herself and tries to post her way through. Great defense by Seiler to get the ball away, although it stays Ithaca possession.
Wasn't going to be shocked if they got a foul there for on the play by Emily Dorn, but great defense there by Cortland.
8 free throws combined for both teams in the first half. Cortland made all 6 of them. Ithaca missed all 2 of theirs. Shot is short by Emily Dorn. It's Cortland left to right, 8:42 to go in quarter number 3. Seiler. In the left wing, guarded by Natalie Smith. Top of the key, Travers. Spin move off of Dorn to the left. Pass down low to Longford was underneath the basket. Right wing 3, Malone off through the feed. It goes down.
Yeah, can't leave Malone that open out on the wing. A little bit of defensive breakdown there from the Bombers.
An 11-point lead for the Cortland Red Dragons, 37-26. As Cameron Coffey finally gets in the scorer's column.
Yes, that's right, Kyle. Finally, here, 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and finally the first 2 points for the grad student Cameron Coffey.
An underhanded layup after a feed from Kara Volpe as Cortland now moves from left to right. A spin move by Travers, who's stopped by Natalie Smith. Crosscourt pass, Maggie Malone, same spot, same result.
Don't know what they thought was going to change if you just leave Malone that open out on the wing, and there you see it. Danbury already wants an early timeout in the third quarter.
2 straight threes for Maggie Malone, and the first timeout of the half for the Ithaca Bombers. Dan Raymond obviously not happy with his team after those 6 straight points by Maggie Malone come off of the 2 3 balls. The score now 40-28 in the third quarter, 7:52 to go. Cortland leads Ithaca. You look at this Cortland team. For 3 tries, they came into the half, and they were shooting 6 of 10. You add on those 2, now it's 8 for 12.
Yeah, little details has been killing this Bomber squad so far tonight. Losing on the free throw battle, losing the 3-point battle, and this also early on in the third quarter, a lot of defensive miscues. Got to tighten that up as they head into the later part of this third quarter.
The good thing for the Bombers, they do start off with possession with 7:52 to go in the third quarter. It's going to be Albertelli who passes out to Natalie Smith. Ithaca now moving from right to left. Smith. Hand off to Coffey, right wing. Top of the key, Albertelli. Swings it left wing to Volpe. Guarded by Longford. Pass into a cutting Dorn. 10-point lead for Cortland.
Fantastic pass from Karen Coffey, finding the open person right in the lane.
That's a great start after the timeout by Dan Raymond. 40-30 in favor of Cortland. Now the score after the Dorn layup for Ithaca. Right wing 3, Nia Longford. Right on back.
I mean, that wing has been wide open so far to start this third quarter, Kyle.
Kara Volpe trying to go for the fast break after the pass, and she goes underneath and tried to go a little too much with the up and under layup as it sails over the rim. 43-30 the score in favor of Cortland over the Ithaca Bombers. Travers guarded by Dorn. Spin move to the left side, right wing, or rather right corner. Turns out Seiler had a foot out of bounds.
A little bit of a look right there. Another wide open Cortland. Milano right there on the right wing. But fortunately, the foot was on the line there.
The foot on the line as Ithaca now brings it up. Natalie Smith, the point guard. She's guarded by Casey Travers on the right wing. Still keeping the ball with the left-hand dribble. Albertelli looked down low to Dorn, but has to pass out on the right wing to Smith once more. Top of the key, Coffey. Feed to the top of the key where Dorn stands. She dribbles against Longford, goes through 2 defenders, and draws a foul.
I like that play from Dorn. She needs to be looking to score more when she gets that ball up on the elbow there. Took it right at Longford and gets the foul.
These are the second and third free throws all game for the Bombers. Lindsay Albertelli had the previous 2. She missed both of them. Emily Dorn this time makes the first. Going to have some substitutions for Ithaca after the second free throw. It rings true after bouncing off the front of the rim. It's going to be Yorio and Isabel Seta coming in. Albertelli and Coffey, the 2 coming out. 43-32, 6:34 to go in quarter number 3. Ithaca and Cortland. Cortland with the lead. They have the ball moving from left to right. Bringing the ball up is Seiler, the graduate guard. Isabel Seta guarding her. Feed and some miscommunication. The effort there, a foul called. Push there by Maggie Malone, and Ithaca brings it back.
I mean, immediately, Kyle, Isabel Seta gets in the game and causes the foul. Didn't quite get her hands on the ball, but still causes the foul, and now she brings up the ball at the court.
Hand off to Volpe on the right wing. Left wing now, swing to Yorio. Volpe with a great cut down to the left block. Smith, free throw line door. Feed back to Smith, her three. Yes!
Great feed there by Dorn, sealing off her defender and leaving a wide open Natalie Smith for the 3 points.
Seiler passes to the left for Miedrich, guarded by Yorio. Defense there, forcing a tip and a potential steal missed by Dorn. This time the steal, it's care of Opie. Smith, avoiding a pick and pocket attempt from Travers. Yorio left wing, down low to Volpe, baseline. Pass out to Smith, off to the left. The 3-ball had the crowd riled up and they were prepared, but we'll have to wait with 5:22 to go in the third quarter. Left wing to Seiler, now to Morano. Morano 3-ball is a little underneath.
Yeah, she was called for a foul there to the ref as soon as the ball left her hands.
Smith, right wing, free throw line Dorn. Yorio, great cut around, the layup a little bit short.
It's a good find by Dorn, just couldn't finish that one.
A good cut as well, as the timeout is called. It's going to be Cortland now having to take the breather. They lead by 8, 43-35, 4:57 to go in the third quarter. And now with that, as we're working our way through the timeout, we headed down to the third member of our broadcast crew, and Jaden Becker. Jaden?
Thank you, guys. This offseason, IC Women's Basketball brought in Megan Mazzella as an assistant coach with the Bombers. Mazzella has previous experience with the Bombers as her sister, Megan Mazzella, in the class of 2019, played for IC under head coach Dan Raymond. Mazzella, after her hire, noted her experience with the squad, saying, quote, "I know the area, I know the program is very successful and has great tradition, so it was something that I couldn't say no to." Guys?
Thank you so much, Jaden. Prior to coming to the South Hill, Mazzella served as an assistant coach with SUNY Brockport, so she knows this New York area fairly well, and now comes to the Liberty League to join Dan Raymond's staff. It's going to be Cortland moving from left to right. Seiler, guarded by Isabel Seta. Travers trying to drive, guarded by Albertelli, is to pick up a dribble after a spin move. Top of the key, Miedrich. Backing her way in the left, 8 on the shot clock, in and out.
Good defense there by Natalie Smith, but just an unlucky bounce on the finish there for Cortland.
Smith there trying to drive on the right, behind the back a second time. Down low with the ball tipped away by Malone. It will stay in favor of the Bombers.
Yeah, tried to force it in there to Yorio, but fortunately for the Bombers, last touch there by Cortland.
Kara Volpe will bring the ball out underneath. 4:29 to go in quarter number 3. Looks for a cutting Yorio. That's who she gets, and that's who makes the layup.
Fakes the cut down to the right block, cuts right back to the left block. Wide open layup there for Yorio on the inbounds play.
43-37 now the score. The Red Dragons leading over the Bombers. Ball stumbled a bit there by Morano, but it's Travers now resetting the offense at the top. 12 on the shot clock. Malone down low looking for Miedrich. They're going to say the ball zipped past Albertelli's hand.
I don't know what you saw there. There was no one positioned there on that left box. Bad turnover there by Cortland.
Some miscommunication perhaps, trying to get a spot down low. Hannah Polche checks in though, as she brings the ball up right to left for IC. 4 minutes to go now in quarter number 3. Left wing to Volpe. She drives with the left hand, tried to go with the layup, switching to the right, but it's Cortland moving it from left to right now with Seiler in a 1-on-3 scenario. Seiler trying to go baseline, guarded by Yorio. Passes out to Malone. Travers now, top of the key to the right, guarded by Isabel Seta, and now it's Miedrich. Pass over top to Malone, it's Albertelli who comes down with it.
Yeah, Cortland getting a little sloppy with these entry passes, and Ithaca's been taking advantage of that.
Isabel Seta driving. Kicking out to Polche, right, corner 3. Yes!
Isabel Seta makes another impact, finding out on the wing and hits the 3. Bombers only down by 3.
The shot from Tripletown moves the Cortland deficit down to 3 as Isabel Seta forces Travers on the ground. A whistle is called, a jump ball in favor of IC.
I thought for a second there the ball was out when
when Cortland when they fell on the ball there, but apparently jump ball still gives the ball to the Bombers.
Isabel Seta will bring it up. Travers playing press defense over the midcourt stripe. 3:06 to go, quarter number 3. Isabel Seta passes to a right-winged Volpe. Cuts with the left. Another layup, a foul called. It's Morano.
That's her bread and butter right there. Volpe on the wing, taking it hard to the basket, picks up the foul.
The slasher type for Ithaca. Showed it right there in her ability to draw the foul. As Ithaca currently on a 10-0 run. They've put this game upside down. First free throw. Short from the lefty in Volpe. Ithaca still trails by 3. 2:57 to go in quarter number 3. This one off the rim, but Yo-Yo gets the rebound. The Bombers have to reset on offense. Polche now back left wing. Yo-Yo. Top of the key to Volpe. Shot clock down to 10. Right wing, Isabel Seta. To 6. Polche, left wing 3. Rim violation. It bounced off the top.
Good look there by Polche, just couldn't knock it down. That would have brought the house down and tied back up this game.
Nia Longford checks in, a big name for the Cortland Red Dragons, replacing the senior guard in Casey Travers. 2:37 to go in quarter number 3. Seiler bringing the ball up. Cortland moving left to right. Morano, ball is tipped, but it's Morano who recovers it after Polche got a hand in. Albertelli, great closeout. Malone, top of the key. Shot clock down to 6. Longford has to drive. She forces one up. It's short, but it's Seiler in the right spot at the right time to get the second chance and a new 20 seconds.
One of the few mistakes by Isabel Seta did not block out her defender there in the easy offensive rebound for Cortland.
Shot clock already down to 7. The Ithaca defense doing a great job. Malone just in front of the three-point arc. It's rebounded Isabel Seta. Keeps it herself for the layup and
And after I just said that, she makes up for it, drives right past the Cortland defense, gets an easy layup for the Bombers. Bombers only down by 1 late in the third quarter.
43-42. Cortland leads the Ithaca College Bombers, and a foul called that will send Cortland they will pass out underneath. I thought it was a shooting foul.
It was not. It hit the body. Albertelli was contesting that immediately after the call, but yeah, got the body there. Can't do that.
Yo-Yo comes out for IC. It's going to be Seiler picking the ball out underneath. Longford left wing. 1:29 to go in quarter number 3. Smith. Heavily defending, and rather it is Miedrich, a far 3. Off the front and a backboard violation of her own.
That's her shot, though. Miedrich, the best three-point shooter on this Cortland squad. Cortland does not mind having that miss right there.
42-43, or rather, if you switch the numbers around, 43-42 to score in favor Cortland over Ithaca. 1:19 to go in quarter number 3. Ithaca has come all the way back from a deficit. They so far have led the scoring battle 16-11. After they were down by 6 after the first half. Left wing Albertelli. Top of the key, it's Polche. Left elbow. A little much power. They're trying to make their case, or rather the football players in the crowd, that it was Morano who stepped out, but 53 seconds on the game clock. In the quarter, Seiler right corner, and Longford passes down low to Miedrich. Great defense by Dorn. Ithaca with the ball right to left.
Great help defense there by Dorn, and gets a block on what should have been an easy Cortland layup there.
Albertelli right wing. Passes down low to Dorn, guarded by Streety. Smith. In and out. Could have done a lot, but it's still Longford bringing the ball up. 22 seconds on the clock. Smith trying to make up for it on the defensive end. 18 now.
Natalie Smith is all over Longford on the ball here.
Seiler, top of the key. 12 seconds, Cortland holding for the last shot. Seiler, top of the key, guarded this time by Albertelli. Misses the ball. 2 on the clock. Seiler, 3. Yes!
What a way to end the third quarter.
What a fantastic shot by Sarlo to cap off that third quarter. Ithaca making their way back into this game, only down by 3 into the winning sets, but that 3 there pushes the lead to 4. It's going to make this fourth quarter very, very interesting, Kyle.
Before we start this fourth quarter, we're going to go down to the third member of our broadcast crew, and Jaden Becker. Jaden?
Just in case you guys weren't aware, there's a little game happening in the Bronx, and it might be the biggest little game in the nation, the 63rd annual Cortland Jug at Yankee Stadium between Ithaca College football and student Cortland. It's going to be a wild ride, to say the least, but we have a little bit of a precursor here. Let's say the appetizer, if you will, and the energy is right here in the gym at the moment. Ithaca College football, many players, coaches, all here watching the game, maybe getting a taste of the Red Dragons before the action happening over in Bronx, New York. A little fun story heading up into this game. There's a little bit of a fundraising event between the two schools, between Cortland and Ithaca, and the fundraising goes as such. It's a fundraiser which, whichever school has the most donors, will force the president of the losing school to wear the sweatshirt of the winning school for one day. The energy is in the air, the donations have been around as well, but just as I mentioned, a little bit of an appetizer here at Ben Light Gymnasium as a precursor leading up into the Bronx. Guys?
Thank you so much, Jaden, and overall, you look at Saturday, that's something to look forward to. And personally, I would say I'm a Yankees fan. If I had to wear a Red Sox or a Mets shirt, that would be pretty bad, Josh.
I mean, speaking, I can't say I support either of those teams, but nevertheless, going to be a fantastic game. The 63rd Cortland Jug between Ithaca and Cortland, both undefeated. Cannot wait. I'll be on the halftime show for that one. Cannot wait to head down there on Friday and see the game on Saturday.
Be on the pregame and postgame show at that. It will be right here on 92 WC. Right now, we got 10 more minutes of Ithaca and Cortland women's basketball. Cortland with possession left to right.
Isabel Seta already getting the start here in the fourth quarter, the freshman for the Bombers.
With how she's played so far, you'd forget that this is her first ever game in an IC uniform. Right wing Longford fakes the 3. Behind the back, Dorn playing defense, and now it is Morano trying to go for the baseline. Albertelli, good defense, passing out. Left wing Travers, a 3 ball. Too far. And the ball gets tipped around before Longford picks it up, and the shot clock violation. That shot, I might add, did not hit rim.
Yeah, one of the rare misses for this Red Dragon team in this game from beyond the arc. 10 of 17 so far from this game for 3 points. For Cortland, shooting 58%. That has been the difference in this game just from a statistical standpoint.
Yeah, they lead by 4 with 9:21 to go, and those threes especially come in handy with their scoring total. Ball tipped away as was Dorn trying to go for the layup from the left block. 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Seiler. Isabel Seta now Longford left wing. Morano guarded by Polche. Top of the key to Malone. Tried to hand off, and it is going to be Seiler who's the recipient. 11 on the shot clock already. Longford up and under layup. Off the back and rebounded by Polche.
Still no scoring for Albertelli in this one, but some great defense on Longford there.
Isabel Seta traveled. Tried to fake the 3 and drive, but the referee said not so fast.
Yeah, can't have many turnovers here. It's in such a close game in the fourth quarter. One of the rare mistakes from Isabel Seta in this one.
Especially in a 4-point game as it is here. It's the last thing you want to deal with. Travers to Longford. Longford another 3. It's as true as can be.
We see it all night. The Cortland Red Dragons have been on fire from the other. That makes them 11 for 17 in this one.
7-point lead now for the Red Dragons, 49-42 over the Bombers. Isabel Seta to Polche on the left wing. Dorn top of the key. Smith crosses over behind the back. The left elbow has to pass to Albertelli. 8 on the clock. The game clock.
It resets as Dorn makes the layup.
Dorn got great position there, down from underneath the rim. Easy 2 points for the Bombers.
44-49. Ithaca and Cortland. Cortland with the 5-point lead. Longford stops and pops. No good. Ball tipped away, and it is Isabel Seta who retrieves it. Up in the air, but it's Ithaca. Hand off to Smith on the right wing. Polche top of the key, now left wing Albertelli. Dorn Isabel Seiza. She pulls up. Off the back, left of the iron. Albertelli with the rebound. Top of the key for Smith. And 15 on the shot clock. Isabel Seiza. Smith. Dorn. Longford, the rejection. Dorn gets it back, top of the key, swings it to Smith. 1 on the clock. Smith 3. No bank. And no hit at the rim either.
That was a fantastic block by Longford down underneath the rim. And now Smith kind of just forced to throw up a shot there at the end of the shot clock and only couldn't even hit the rim on that one.
Volpe comes in to retrieve Natalie Smith. 6:56 to go in quarter number 4. Cortland leads Ithaca 49-44. Longford, left wing, ball sailed or rather bopped past Morano, but she retrieves it. Seiler, Longford again, top of the key. Great fake there to get Volpe moving. No one was there. A miscommunication.
Yeah, Longford looking for the back cut there over for Morano, but Morano not on the same page as Longford. Ball goes sailing out of bounds.
Yeah, Longford, the pass goes out of bounds. It's Polche once more, being the point guard. Isabel Seiza, Volpe, left wing Albertelli. Top of the key, Dorn. It's the dribble and keep it, and the ball is stolen. That's Morano on the steal. Morano tries to go up and over. So foul on Kara Volpe.
Yeah, Emily Dorn in that last possession trying to do a little bit too much. Dribbles right into the defense of Cortland, gets the ball stolen there. Then we got an inbounds here for Cortland.
Yeah, and it is Emily Dorn now coming out as Annabella Iorio steps in for the Ithaca Bombers. 6:13 to go in the final quarter of this game. Longford. She has been capable of shooting, and we've seen that tonight. Malone, a fake there. Morano, guarded by Isabel Seiza. Malone, a 3-ball. No bounce there and no bank. But a rebound by Cortland. They have been really making it a statement.
Yeah, Bombers so far in the second half not doing a great job of boxing out Cortland. Got to step that up as we head into the later part of the fourth quarter.
Some want the trip call, but it's Cortland with possession. 3 on the shot clock. Step back off the rim. There's a 3-ball there from Seiler.
If I'm the Bombers here, I'm trying to get a set play for Volpe. You're down by 5. There's 5 minutes left in the game. You can't have too many more empty possessions left if you're the Bombers when you're down by 5. I'd be looking for some set plays to some of your veteran leaders. So as you head to the final minutes of this game.
Final minutes indeed. 5:29 to go in quarter number 4. Isabel Seiza passes to Iorio at the free throw line. Iorio spins around and dumps it off to Volpe behind at the right elbow. Coffey. Iorio once more. Right wing, Isabel Seiza. 12 on the shot clock. Albertelli down low. A layup too far off the right of the rim.
Albertelli still can't find herself getting on the scoreboard. Cortland doing a really nice job of packing the lane so Volpe and any other of these Bomber players not having any success driving the lane tonight.
Step back 3 off the front of the rim. Malone with the rebound and the second chance layup.
Just talked about it. Bombers need to be doing a better job of boxing out after the first shot. Cortland makes them pay for that there. 2 easy points for Cortland.
Cortland's lead advances to 7 now. 51-44. 4:40 to go in quarter number 4. A charge at what could be the worst time for IC.
I can't exactly tell. I mean, it's like one of the most controversial calls in all of basketball, the charge or no charge call. Cortland had the feet set, but it kind of shifting the other way, too. Not exactly sure. Could have gone either way there, Kyle.
That is the thing. If you're Volpe and you drive, if you're a defender for Cortland, you could just settle down, get your feet straight, and draw that charge, and that's exactly what happened there. 4:35 to go in quarter number 4. Seiler brings the ball up for Cortland. They move left side, and it's Malone trying to drive to the right block, forcing the layup. It is recovered by Volpe, and a quick foul on Longford. She tried to steal one away. Longford's up to 4 fouls. She comes out of the game. Ithaca again moving right to left. 4:26 now left in the fourth quarter.
We're seeing Annabelle Iorio get a lot of minutes late in this fourth quarter as well. Something to note, Kyle.
Smith, top of the key to Coffey. A 3-ball. Off the back iron, rebound Volpe.
Tries to drive and kicks one out to Smith. Smith swings it away in a mid-range try. Off the front of the rim, Uriel once more with the layup. Another rebound by Uriel. She goes up for a fourth time. It's the charm.
Speaking of Devil, Emerald, you're getting 2 chances there off of the miss from Natalie Smith. Puts the Bombers back up by back only down by 5 now, heading into the final minutes of the game.
That's what you have to do if you're IC. You need those moments like that, but it's Maggie Malone with the 3-ball from Triple Town. Rather make that a long 2 or foot on the line.
That's been kind of the theme all night, Kyle. Open shooters for Cortland, making this Bomber defense pay. Nothing. I mean, respect to Cortland. When you have open shots, you got to hit them.
53-46 in favor of the Red Dragons. Top of the key, it is Emily Dorn who swings it to Natalie Smith. 3:25 to go, quarter number 4. Smith tried to move, and the ball will stay here. Was Malone called on the hold?
Yeah, finding a little bit too hard to try to reestablish her position there down low on Dorn. Gets the foul called on her.
You talk about fouls. Both Malone and Longford each have 4.
Definitely something to know heading down into these final minutes of the fourth quarter. How will that impact the lines we see out there for Cortland?
Also, Zoraida Isabel Seta checking in for Cameron Coffey. Isabel Seta passes out over to Smith on the far corner. Isabel Seta, top of the key, fakes the 3, steps back. Yes! Might be the play of the night so far for this Bomber front. Isabel Seta gets the defender up in the air on the pump fake, slides over, hits the 3. Bombers only down by 4, 3 minutes left in the game. The quick hesitation and the step back, and that's all it needs. 3 minutes to go, quarter number 4. The defense chants loud here in Ben Light Gymnasium. Medrick guarded by Volpe. Far corner 3 for Cortland. Running in and out, rebounded by the graduate guard. Volpe to Isabel Seta. 53-49 in favor of Cortland. She throws down low to Dorn on the left block, trying to go against Streety with the layup off the backboard and down.
Dorn turns the defender into the block and reverses, pivots off that left foot, and has an easy 2 points for the Bombers. Only down by 2 with 2:30 left in the game.
53-51. Portland still with the lead. It's Seiler on the left wing trying to move with a screen by Streety. Milano now swings it over to Travers, guarded by Polche, forcing a layup. Streety saves it in time, and it is J.C. Brooks, the head coach of Cortland, who calls a timeout in a very crucial part of this game.
Yeah, Brooks did not like what she saw there from her Cortland squad on the floor there. Ithaca Bombers making a late run to try and get back in this game down by 2. Once again, Uriel and Isabel Seta giving the Bombers some very valuable minutes despite the lack of playing time they've had in the Bombers.
A late run indeed. You say a late 5-0 run in this last near minute and a half. Score was 53-46. Cortland over IC. Now it's 53-51 with those same 2 teams in those 2 same scenarios. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the final quarter of this game. Ithaca looking to get a win to start this season off on the right note. Cortland also looking to do that. These were 2 teams that both made the NCAA tournament last year.
We just talked about it before the game. Cortland was one of 4 teams last year to give the Bombers a loss last season. You know the Bombers are looking for revenge in this game. Cortland snapped a 9-game winning streak in that loss last year.
Yeah, prior to last year's matchup between these 2 teams, last time Cortland had beat IC was in 2010. It's Cortland with the ball. And Seiler. 2 on the shot clock really quick. And a forced shot is short with a violation.
Great defense there for the Bombers. Didn't have too much time left on the shot clock for the Red Dragons. Now we'll have to see what the Bombers do as we head into the final 2 minutes of a 53-51 game here at Ben Light Gymnasium.
158 IC looking to improve upon its 5-0 run. Volpe top of the key. Driving with the left. Hand out to Yorio. Isabel Seta swings right to Smith. Yorio setting a screen for Smith. Trying to fade her way in. Dorn, step back, mid-range shot. Not the roll. Isabel Seta, what a rebound.
Isabel Seta making another key play. Offensive rebound gives the Bombers another possession.
Handoff, Isabel Seta, top of the key, right wing. Yorio now to Volpe. Volpe looking down low to Dorn. Against Malone. Muscling her way through. She gets the rebound. Second chance attempt. Another good defensive play by the Red Dragons.
Looked like there might have been some contact there from the Red Dragons on that attempt from Dorn, but no call there from the ref. A crucial call. Might have to look at that one later on in the booth.
Time against the Bombers. That possession took up plenty. 1:05 to go. Malone a three. It's short and over the head, rather out of the fingertips of Kara Volpe. 58 seconds to go. A 2-point game. Cortland leading Ithaca 53-51. 10 on the shot clock. It's Longford. Seiler. 4 on the shot clock. Right wing Malone. 2 on the shot clock. Trying to pass down low. The ball will stay, and rather it is a shot clock violation. And Dan Raymond is going to call the most important timeout of this game, Josh.
Yeah, Raymond going over exactly what he wants to see from his Bombers in these final 42 seconds here. There's a couple different plays you go to. Obviously you got the graduate student Volpe, who has shown up in big moments for this Bomber squad in the past. But then you got players like Isabel Seta, who before this game had never suited up in a Bombers uniform before, but she's been absolutely fantastic for the Bombers tonight, Kyle.
Yeah, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. What a debut for Zoraida Isabel-Seta. Setting the scenario here, 42.2 seconds officially to go in quarter number 4. Cortland leads Ithaca by 2 points, 53-51. We are in a timeout that was called by Dan Raymond. This is a great game, let's say, to open up your 23rd season as a head coach with Ithaca.
Absolutely. This is a prequel to the 63rd annual Corker Jug this weekend. We already got a Corker right here, Kyle. 53-51. Both of these teams, we all know the rivalry between Ithaca and Cortland. I cannot wait to see what Dan Raymond has in store for this Bomber squad with the remaining 42 seconds.
And another thing to keep in mind, following the end of this game, there will be Ithaca and Cortland once more for men's basketball. So we are in the prequel stage, but this is just the beginning. We go now back to the floor.
Let's see if they try to get Volpe on a pick and roll, trying to get her head down to the basket, try to get her at the foul line.
Isabel Seta has to pass over to Dorn, just misses the 5-second violation. Dorn now driving away herself. Layup off the backboard, we're tied at 53.
Yeah, Dorn looked like she was going to hand it off to Volpe on the drive to the basket, keeps it herself, gets the 2 points, tie game here.
Doing it herself, and now the timeout called by Cortland. 53 all, 29.4 seconds to go. This is the first game of the season, and it is a great one, Josh.
Here's the question now for the Bombers. Do you leave in Isabel Seta, who you know is only a freshman on this Bomber squad? Who exactly do you put out here for the Bombers, obviously, with only 30 seconds left in the game, and you have to get a stop if you're the Bombers?
And that is an interesting question. You look at Isabel Seta as well. She's done a great job in this game. You also look at the scenario where it's as tight as can be.
And another key factor, the defensive rebounding, for the Bombers in this fourth quarter hasn't really been there. Cleveland's been all over the offensive rebounds, especially in the second half. Do you put more of a lineup that is more focused towards rebounding? Something to consider if you're Dan Raymond.
Yeah, you look at the rebounding, and it's really neck and neck in terms of Ithaca and Cortland in terms of rebounds. And you look at Ithaca, they actually have led the battle in terms of offensive rebounds, but it's more where it seems that at those right moments when they need it, it goes in favor of the Red Dragons.
Giving second chance points to Cortland has been the biggest downfall for the Bombers so far in the second half, something that cannot happen.
Final possession. 29.4 seconds. Quarter number 4, 53 all the score between Ithaca and Cortland.
Looks like Raymond is leaving Yorio out there for the final possession, someone who you know can go grab a rebound for you late in the game.
Yorio, Dorn, Smith, Volpe, and Isabel Seta is the 5 for IC. Seiler, Longford, Malone, Morano, and it's going to be Travers who takes the ball out for the Red Dragons. Cortland passing over. 27 on the clock. It's Seiler. Isabel Seta playing defense. 3 seconds separating the shot and game clock. Now 19 to go in quarter number 4.
Isabel Seta is all over Seiler. She can't go anywhere.
Whistle called, and
Didn't look like much there from Isabel Seta, but we got a reach and foul late in the game here. 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's her first foul, though. You look at Dan Raymond, he just said, that's fine. We can work with that. We got 15.3 seconds to go, now 13 after the ball is inbounded. Smith playing defense. Longford with the ball guarded by Dorn. 6, 5, 4, 3. Down low to Malone, intercepted by Volpe. And a timeout called? Is that the case?
Interesting choice there by Volpe. Gets the steal, ending the Cortland's chance of getting that game-winning bucket. Now, Damon will have 1.9 seconds to try to draw up a play and get a buzzer beater for this Bomber squad.
Yeah, and if anything, that's the veteran move by the graduate guard. Immediately getting the ball, and calling the timeout. You got 1.9 seconds to work with. It's not a lot of time. It's not as much as you want, but it's time nonetheless.
Now here's a question. Who do you give the ball to? Do you go with Volpe? Do you go with Cameron Coffey? Do you give the ball to Isabel Seta, who has been the best shooter for the Bombers tonight? 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. Many choices here for Dan Raymond. I am not envious of his job right now.
Yeah, it's a position that you really have to look at. Emily Dorn's also 5 of 12. Isabel Seta is 5 of 8 from the field. She leads the point scoring for Ithaca with 13. And again, we've said this so many times, regardless of the outcome of this game, what a debut for Zoraida Isabel Seta.
Absolutely right, Kyle. Isabel Seta will be, no doubt, beginning a boost in minutes after this game. I would not be surprised if we see her inserted into the starting lineup right after we find out who wins the battle between Ithaca and Cortland right here.
The Cortland players talking to the officials as IC now comes on the floor. Isabel Seta, is out there. It's Polche who passes the ball out. You got Dorn, you got Yorio, Coffey, and Isabel Seta.
Look for IC to maybe throw it down low, try and draw a foul here.
Polche. Down low to Dorn. She puts it up and off the backboard.
Yeah, tried to find Dorn on the low block there, tried to post up, got the shot off in time, but didn't get the right angle. We head to overtime here in the season opener for the Bombers.
Well, you look at this overtime matchup, and especially you look at Ithaca, they've been able to continue. They've outscored Cortland 27-21 through the final 2 quarters, but we head it down now to the third member of our broadcast crew, in Jaden Becker. Jaden?
Heading into overtime now. Head coach Dan Raymond in the previous 2 timeouts telling his team stay together, stay together. He was also saying we just need 1 stop. They were able to get that, even though after the foul did wipe the shot clock off the board. The play that was drawn up was the correct play, just Emily Dorn not able to get her feet set, able to convert on the basket. The team behind me here speaking with each other saying this is it. This is our overtime. This is how we start our season. The Bombers getting ready to head into overtime here in this one. Guys?
Thank you, Jaden. And Josh, we've really called this game so many different things, and we've talked about Cortica. We've talked about, obviously, it's your first game back since what happened against Springfield, where Sam Hurahan, who made the shot from the right mid-range spot. But overall, this is the first game of the season for Ithaca. And this is the first game of the season for an Ithaca team that especially doesn't have what many people could see as their 2 best players in Megan Yallman and Grace Cannon.
Yes, definitely an early test for this Bomber squad after you just said, Kyle, losing 2 of their key players from last season. And we had the lineup up now, already seeing lots of minutes from players we did not see from last season, like Isabel Seta and Annabelle Yorio. Lots of early experience and heading into this overtime period, we know that this Bomber squad, despite having a little bit of youth in there, not seeing a lot of Isabel Seta and Yorio last season, we've got a lot of experience. I got no problems. I think the Bombers are going to come out strong in halftime, in overtime.
For the overtime period, it is Malone and Dorn for the jump for Cortland and Ithaca. And it's Isabel Seta who picks the ball up for the 5-minute overtime period to commence. Ithaca moving right to left, Cortland left to right. Isabel Seta handoff to Natalie Smith. Right wing now, and it's swung over to Yorio. Top of the key, Dorn. Isabel Seta off the screen from Dorn. 3-ball. It rims in.
Already an impact from Isabel Seta comes off the screen. Not a great close-up from Cortland. 3 easy points. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in overtime.
And that's the kind of shooter that Isabel Seta is as she tips the ball away and brings it from right to left. 2v2. Smith keeps the ball and will pass to Yorio. Yorio underneath. Layup. Tries to go for the second chance rebound before it's corralled by Seiler.
Another steal by Isabel Seta. She leads this Bomber squad in steals, 4 on the night for tonight.
4:09 to go in the overtime. Ithaca leading Cortland 56-53. Malone hands off to Travers, top of the key. It's Longford. Cuts her way back to a left wing Travers three. That's short off the rim and rebounded by Zoraida Isabalseta. Isabalseta drives, goes for the layup. A foul called. Morano got some contact in on the arm.
Great play there by Isabalseta, not letting the Cortland defense get set in the half court. Takes it right to the hole and gets fouled. Let's see what she does here at the line.
Isabalseta. Look at her day so far. 56-53. Now 57-53 in favor of IC. Isabalseta, this is her first time, going to the line. She's 1 of 1. And rimming away, she's 1 and 2. Ithaca leads by 4, though. 3:45 to go in the overtime period. Seiler, guarded by Isabalseta, playing press coverage just in front, rather behind the midcourt stripe. A lot of ball movement there. Left wing Nia Longford, guarded by Yorio. The foul call, they're going to say that Yorio got her arm in and tried to push off.
Yeah, getting a little handsy there with Longford. Know what she was trying to do, trying to force her to drive the ball a little bit more outside the lane, but can't not do that. Gets the foul called on her.
For Yorio, that is her 4th foul. 3:29 to go. It's Seiler, top of the key. Left wing, a 3-ball. Bouncing off in front. Morano's 3 no good. Volpe brings it up right to left.
Yeah, Morano 4 threes in that first half, but none here in the second.
Great effort there by Seiler. The pass was intended for Isabalseta, but Seiler tips it away. And it is going to be Volpe who brings it out. From the sideline, as it's Natalie Smith, the senior guard at the top of the key. Now the right wing. Hand off Isabalseta. Top of the key to Volpe. Moving the perimeter, Yorio now left wing. Back to Dorn. 10 on the shot clock. 3:02 to go. Smith, a 3-try. Off the back iron and rebounded by Longford.
Not a bad shot there by Swift. Not a great job by Morano getting out there on the closeout. Didn't fall for the Bombers.
Longford coast-to-coast try. It's off the backboard and rebounded by Dorn as Cortland tries to press their way. Isabalseta bringing it up. Driving to the right, no one in the paint, but she's stripped away in time by Longford. Enough defense, though Ithaca retains possession.
Great job there by Isabalseta once again. Classic saying, they keep going until they stop you. That we see that there from Isabalseta. Gets the ball stripped out, but still the ball for the Bombers, but here's a timeout.
A timeout called for Ithaca College, and the score is 57-53 in favor of IC over Cortland. You got Dan Raymond, you got Jordan Beers, you got Mary Mazzella, and Jim Mullins. This actually looks to be Beers that is working her way with the clipboard, drawing up where she wants the Bombers to be. One thing to note, if Longford comes out, if she comes into this game rather out of the timeout, she has 4 fouls. There's still 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and a lot can happen in that time.
Same goes for Annabelle Yorio, 4 fouls as well for her. She has been fantastic. We keep talking about Isabalseta, but let's talk about Annabelle Yorio. Done a great job defensively, guarding both out on the perimeter and down low. Have given the Bombers some invaluable minutes tonight, Kyle.
Ithaca takes the ball out underneath. It is Natalie Smith. Looking for a cutting Isabalseta. It is Yorio who gets the pass. Spins her way to the right, and she makes the lead 6 points.
Speaking of Yorio, great move there on Longford. Fakes to the right, goes back to the left, off the glass. 2 points there for the Bombers.
Longford guarded by Yorio. Now it's Smith. Left wing Travers. Travers tries to go baseline. Great move there to keep possession. Has to shoot off her back foot. It's Yorio who gets the board. And it's Isabalseta bringing it up. Keeps it herself. Passes over to Yorio. Had the wide open lane, but decided to pass it by.
Yeah, didn't see she had a wide open lane there. That would have been 2 easy points for the Bombers.
1:58 to go in the overtime. Great move by Smith, the veteran movement. The ball tipped away. It stays Ithaca possession. It was Emily Morano who made the tip, although she thought it could be going back. Now 1:54, 11 seconds on the shot clock, we might add, as Smith takes the ball out underneath the basket.
Might be a set play here for Isabalseta. Let's see it off the pick.
She's got to pass out.
Top of the key to Kara Volpe. 10 on the shot clock. Off the Volpe screen, Isabel Seta stops. Goes down low to Dorn. Underhanded layup.
Great find there by Isabel Seta. Dorn coming off the screen, rolling right underneath on the low block. Just couldn't finish that one.
She had to just throw that up there with the shot clock winding down as it's Cortland on the left wing trying to use the screen from Longford. It was Morano. Morano backing up against Smith. Smith. It's the layup for Morano, although Smith played as good a defense as she could.
Yeah, first points for Morano since the first half. Definitely some timely ones for Cortland as well.
24 seconds on the shot clock. 1:14 seconds in the game clock in the overtime period. Smith behind the back. Off the Dorn screen. Ball is tipped away, and it's Seiler who has possession. The jump ball will be called.
Yeah, great play there by Morano. Coming off the screen, gets a hand in from behind, pokes the ball out. Got a jump ball, but giving the ball right back to Cortland here.
1:04 to go in the overtime period. Ithaca 59, Cortland 55 here at Ben Light Gymnasium. What a great way to open up the season here on 92 WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. Seiler now, 58 seconds. Defense by Isabel Seta. Longford left wing guarded by Yorio. Cortland trying to get on the board once more. Longford trying to drive against the senior guard in Smith. Just moving away under. Tried to shift her way into a layup.
That was some fantastic defense by Natalie Smith, not allowing Longford to get any sort of good shot at the rim there. Now Cortland is forced to foul. Only got 35 seconds left in this game. It's got up by 4. Now you're going to be starting to play the free throw game, Kyle.
Yeah, it took a few seconds for Cortland to realize that they actually had to foul, and those are a few seconds that they won't get back. But now it's going to be a fouling scenario.
Now we see Hannah Poche checked in. Definitely going to be seeing the better free throw shooters be inserted into this line for the Bombers late with the remaining seconds left in this overtime period.
It's going to be Morano who has to foul Natalie Smith. Now the fouling game comes into play, and obviously you don't want Longford to foul anybody because she already has 4. You do have a lot of Cortland players that can give those fouls.
If you look at this Bombers so far tonight, though, Kyle, 3 for 8 from the line. Not been a strength for the Bombers so far.
Make that 4 of 9 after the make, and a 5-point lead in favor of IC, 60-55. Smith looking to make it 6 points. And indeed she does.
That is some clutch free throws there from Natalie Smith. One of the key contributors from this team last year. She's had an up and down night, but has been playing very, very strong in the second half, Kyle.
Timeout is called as Natalie Smith, we're talking about a game for this Bombers team in the season. In her career with IC, again, we mentioned it early as the starting lineups were being introduced. Tonight is her 50th game with Ithaca in a Bombers uniform. It's her first time in the starting lineup.
Yes, no starts for her last season, but though was playing, played lots of minutes last season off the bench, played double-digit minutes off the bench in every game during last season, Kyle. This is a player, not a whole lot of starting experience. We saw her get pulled after that first quarter. She had a couple turnovers in the first half, but she's really settled in here into the second half. I'm expecting her to play some key minutes so far heading into the season.
Key minutes. Looking at the season, at this point, it is key seconds, 34.5 of them to be exact in the overtime period. Ithaca leads Cortland 61-55. Cortland takes the ball out on the far sideline. They move from left to right. Seiler, top of the key. Malone against Dorn on the right elbow. Pass down low, tipped away by Isabel Seta, and it is Albertelli who gets it with Longford forcing the foul.
Is it Groundhog Day, Cal, or am I going to say again, once again, Isabel Seta steal, number 5 for her on the night. Cortland was trying to get a setup play, over the top, down low there for Milano, but Isabel Seta read it all the way. She has denying Cortland any sort of chance of getting a quick, easy bucket down there.
Yeah, she's just so quick, and the agility to be able to move laterally, move in any way where she's able to tip the ball out. And again, we've seen it tonight, 5 steals now after that one. It's Lindsay Albertelli from the line. Ithaca leads still by 6 after the first one.
Albertelli still not able to get on the board tonight, still scoreless in this one.
Not anymore after the second free throw. 62-55, Ithaca over Cortland. Another timeout is called, that one by the Red Dragons.
What do you think J.C. Brooks is talking to her team and what she's saying right now?
I mean, I think they're definitely trying to drop a play. Have to get a quick 3 here. I'll be expecting Miedrich to probably be in the cards for the Red Dragons right now. Maybe some sort of play heading into the corner. Haven't seen a whole lot of action from her tonight, but I would definitely be looking. That's who. If I'm Dan Raymond, I am looking directly at Miedrich, the best shooter on this Cortland squad.
Looking at Miedrich, you're looking at a lot of shooters on this.
And let's not forget
Dragons team.
Yeah, let's not forget about Emily Morano as well. Haven't seen her make a 3 in the second half, but in the first half made 4 threes from beyond the arc.
Overall, you look at a Cortland team who shot 1 for 7 in this overtime period as well. They got 25.9 seconds to work with as they trail by 7. Seiler after the pass out from Malone. Miedrich guarded by Dorn. And there's Dorn moving the top of the key against Travers. Miedrich trying to move. 14 seconds on the clock. Good defense there. And it is Ithaca ball.
Absolutely nothing going there for Cortland. Albertelli hasn't really done much on the scoring end, but her defense has been absolutely phenomenal. Longford trying to set the screen there for Miedrich, but she was having none of that.
Yeah, Longford trying to do the pick and roll. And the Ithaca defense was all over it. Another timeout called by Cortland. 11.5 seconds to go in the overtime. Ithaca leads 62-55.
Yeah, going to be continuing to play the foul game here. 11 seconds left in this overtime period. Not a lot of hope left for Cortland, but obviously anything possible. But if Ithaca can't continue to hit their free throws, this one's going to be over quick, Kyle.
Talk about time. It's a deathly factor now in this overtime period.
Clock not the friend of the Red Dragons anymore in this game.
Ithaca in the last 10 minutes, an 18-4 run. They turned on the Jets at the right time and they lead by 7. They're going to pass the ball out from their own sideline. It is Natalie Smith. Smith back to Isabel Seiza. She's going to spin her way around and try to dribble out the clock. Foul forced by Travers. Some boos from the crowd. They're not too happy about that. Now 6.6 seconds to go on the clock.
Yeah, Bomber faithful letting the Cortland bench hear about that one. A key question we were asking ourselves heading into the fourth quarter and into overtime, how would this Bombers team play after losing both key contributors, Yaman and Grace Cannon, this offseason? You talked about how 18-4 run so far. They responded incredibly well so far to start out the season.
Isabel Seiza is pure with her first free throw, moves Ithaca up to 8. Their lead to 8 now, 63-55. Now 64-55. 5 on the clock. Cortland moving left to right. 2. Tipped away. Ball game. The Ithaca College Bombers open up their 2022-23 season with a win over the Cortland Red Dragons. Especially with how they started out in the first half. We didn't know if the Bombers were going to be able to pull it out, but in the second half, they turned it on.
A great defensive effort in the second half. We're going to see a little bit more effort on the rebounding part, but this offense got going in the second half. That's all because of freshman Isabel Seiza leading this Bomber squad with 19 points in this game. That is, by far player in this game, Kyle. We're going to be seeing a lot more from Isabel Seiza as we head into the regular season.
Yeah, you talk about 19 points, and you talk about a debut. And that is what Zoraida Isabel Seiza has had tonight in the Ithaca College uniform. We do have Jaden Becker down on the sidelines. Obviously, he's looking to talk with head coach Dan Raymond after a win that opens up his 2023 season with a victory. And now Jaden Becker is walking with head coach Dan Raymond, but it's a good walk. Jaden?
Here with head coach Dan Raymond after a big win for the Bombers to start their season. First and foremost, I want to say happy to be back here with you, Coach, after the off season, and a big win for the Bombers to start it off.
Huge. We were really kind of anticipating, they were going to be really good because they had 4 starters back.
Had a really good year last year, so I couldn't be happier with the way that we played. Our defensive intensity carried throughout the game. In the second half, they had a really difficult time getting anything off, so our defense was great today.
Coach, I want you to speak on the balance of the team so far. Our graduate students are here, seniors, but one first-year student that is making an impact and a surprising impact, the one they call C here on the sideline. Z, there we go. Okay, Zoraida Isabosita. Coach, speak on her for a moment and her impact on the team early on.
The thing is, it was in the preseason, before we even started practice. What we were hearing from our players were everybody wanted to be on her team. And you can see why. She sees the floor, she makes really good decisions, and then she can score herself too.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations on an early win. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thank you so much, Jaden. A win to open up the 2022-23 season for the Ithaca College Bombers. The final score is 64-55, Ithaca over Cortland. Now we're going to go to the post-game show with Tobias Zabori and Rocco DeMilo. Stay tuned here on 92 WICB and the Bombers Radio Network.
Some radio stations are commercial-free. Some have over 20 hours of specialty programming. And some have contests and giveaways.
It wasn't good enough!
No, because we do all of that and more here on the Station for Innovation, 92 WICB.
A frog in boiling water and it'll jump.
Both of you?
But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up. Frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the...
So imagine you're driving down the highway, craving some tunes, but you can't find the perfect radio station. Not a CD in sight, but you do have your smartphone. It's iHeartRadio to the rescue. With over 1,500 live radio stations, including the very best in
You both ready?
very own commercial-free.
All right, 10 seconds.
CB. You'll never be without some awesome music ever again.
5, 4, 3.
Right now at iHeartRadio.com.
The Youngers learning